Tohono O'odham Nation here in Sales, Jacook District, and I'm asked to be interviewed about the Border Patrol issue on Highway 86. I had an incident with them back in 2009, and what happened that day was very unbelievable. It was about 1 in the afternoon, just leaving from someone's funeral services. And so we're on our way back to Tucson, and there was a vehicle in front of us. And, everybody goes back and forth it's a stretch of highway. Everybody's going back and forth. And so we're going, and we get to the checkpoint. The vehicle in front of us gets pulled over to secondary, and we're not paying any mind to that vehicle. We get to the stop sign where we have to let Border Patrol know that we are U.S. citizen. And so at that point, when we're at the stop sign and this vehicle is in secondary, they open the trunk up of the vehicle that got pulled over, and they happen to have some bales with them. I don't know what was in the bales, but so automatically when that had happened, the Border Patrol asked us to pull in a secondary. And I'm asking him why. He never asked me if I'm a U.S. citizen. He never ran the dog around the vehicle. He just automatically told us to pull in a secondary. And I got offensive by it, and I was asking him why, and he never said anything, and he started getting mad because I wasn't complying by what he was saying. So he opens my vehicle door. He tries to reach in, and he turns off the ignition for me and pulls the keys out. And as he's pulling the keys out, I snatch the keys from him and ask him, "What are you doing? You have no right to be doing this." And he said, "I asked you to pull in a secondary, and you're not doing what I'm saying." And I'm asking him, for what? Why do you want me to pull in a secondary? I'm not trying to involve myself with the other people that had got pulled over because I had nothing to do with that. I'm more concerned about myself. Anyways, so I put the key back in the ignition, pull in the secondary as he asked, and sitting in the vehicle, he finally tells us to get down. So we got down, and then he brings his canine, and he's like running the dog around the truck, and the dog is just like running and smelling the tires and stuff and running around. And the dog wasn't doing nothing, so I think he was getting irritated that the dog didn't alert to anything, so he gets a toy, and then he's like hitting the truck with the toy, and the dog starts jumping at the truck. And that was annoying because we knew what he was doing. Dogs play with toys all the time. And so that gave him a reason to search the truck, which I didn't care because there was nothing in the truck. So he searched the truck for a good 30 minutes. And it's not even a big truck. We were driving a 4-door Toyota Tacoma at that time. And there was nothing in there. I had my school books. There was trash in there. There was like nothing in there. The back of the bed, all there was tools, shovels, chainsaws, because of the funeral. And so as I'm standing outside of the vehicle, I get my cell phone because I want to call home. I feel threatened. I want to call home just to let, whoever answers the phone at the house that I'm at the checkpoint, and I don't know what's going to happen, but, something's going down. And then as I'm on my phone, the Border Patrol comes and tells me to get off the phone, and I'm not putting my phone down. I was not listening to what he was saying. He told me to put my phone down. I said, "No, I'm just trying to call home." And then at that point, he stepped closer to me, and he said, "You need to put your phone down." And then he had grabbed my hand as if he's going to snatch the phone out of my hand. While I have my phone in my hand, he holds my hand shut, and he's pulling my finger back, and he's telling me to put my phone down, and he's really pulling my finger back to the point where I'm like this with him. And it looks like I'm like getting physical with him, or I'm resisting, and he starts getting mad, and it starts escalating from there. So I put the phone down and said, "Okay, whatever." So he starts searching the truck again, and I'm asking him off to the side, "What are you guys looking for? You're not going to find nothing because there's nothing. Can we just go?" And he's like, "No, no, you guys were with the people that are being pulled over up here. And I said, no, we weren't. We know who they are, yes, but that doesn't mean that we're with them. We all came from the same funeral, and whatever they're doing, that's their business. And then he was not trying to hear me out, so I got my cell phone again, and this time I didn't put it to my ear. The first time I put it to my ear so I could hear if it's ringing. This time I just have it in my hand, and I was looking at it to see it connect, and it wouldn't connect. And they noticed that I had my cell phone in my hand again. And so the Border Patrol came up to me, and he told me to put my phone down, but he's like in my face, like we're face to face. So I tossed the phone to the side, and I'm looking right at him. He's much taller and much bigger than I am. I'm looking right at him, and he's like provoking me. You know, he has a belly, and he was pushing me with his belly, and I was like stepping back, and he was trying to provoke me to do something. He kept saying, do something. And I kind of cracked up at him, and I said, you do something, man, you're the one in the uniform. And then he's like, do something, you little bitch. And right when he said that, like the B word, he spit right in my face. And I was like, what the hell? So I was like, you know, telling him to do something. It's like, we might as well have fought. We were that heated with each other's. But what had happened is I said, I didn't say, I just made the noise. I said, you do something. And right when I made that noise, I walked off because I was not going to fight this guy. And as I was walking off, the Border Patrols there's other Border Patrols there that were watching, and they asked, did she just spit on you? And the Border Patrol that was in my face was like, oh yeah, she did just spit on me. It was like ridiculous like that. And I said, no, I didn't even spit on you. And as I was walking off, because I was not going to stand face to face with this guy, he grabbed me behind my neck just out of nowhere, and he tries to slam me on the ground, which I'm not too sure if that's what he was trying to do, but I was like almost face planted in the ground. I put my hands down because I didn't want to be on the ground, first of all. I had no reason to be thrown around like that. And I could just feel myself just being yanked up and down, up and down. And then he finally picked me up and he arrested me. Then when he arrested me, he twisted my arm, all ridiculous. So it looked like I was like trying to fight with him. Then he cuffed me and he squeezed the cuff so tight that I quit, because it was like right against my my wrist bones right here. So I quit. I didn't even move. I was just standing there because it hurt. And then so he finally had a female agent come get me, and so they can put me in the holding cell. And she was riled up. I don't know why she was riled up. She was just off on the side watching. And she got me, and she was pulling me, yanking me around to put me in the holding cell. And I was just walking. And then she tried to get me by my arm because I was cuffed and hold me and throw me up against the wall. So I like stopped. And then she got the back of my head and she was like really trying to push me up against the wall. For what? I don't know. And then after that, they had me sitting in the holding cell. I didn't know what was going to happen at that point. I didn't know, I've never been in this kind of trouble. And then I heard the tow truck come. I noticed that they were going to tow the vehicle. It was a loss of the vehicle. Never got it back. That was the last time we seen that vehicle. They put me in the back of a Border Patrol ride, and they took me to headquarters where they hold all the scrums that they come across on golf links in Tucson. And at that point, I was sitting in the cell, really wondering what's going to happen, because I was like getting into it with them because of my own protection, but I didn't do anything to deserve the charge that I got. So at that point, they were trying to charge me with conspiracy. They were trying to say that I was with the person that had the people that had gotten pulled over. And then I went through court, and I was supposed to be a felon. I was supposed to do 7 years in prison, and I was really trying to fight that because I was not going to do no jail time over nothing, and I wasn't trying to be a felon, you know. If you're going to be a felon, your life might as well be over. And so I had got appointed a lawyer. Her name was Maria Davila. She was a pretty cool person. And so talking with her, we started going through everything that happened, and I told her every single thing that happened. And then she shows me some pictures of my vehicle that we had, and the Border Patrol took it to their headquarters. And what they did with the vehicle that I was driving, they put all kinds of stuff in there, like gunny sacks that is known for smuggling marijuana. A lot of Mexicans, their backpacks that is known for when they immigrate themselves this way. They're known to hold their clothing, their food, jugs of water. None of that stuff was in the truck when we got the truck. And then so at that point we were talking about it, talking about what happened. And so I think I went through court for about a year and a half. It was like a year and a half going through this process, showing up to court, talking with the judge. I've seen the agent, you know, he was trying to, the only thing he was holding on to was the assault charge. They let go of the conspiracy charge. They were trying to charge me with conspiracy. He let that go. Now he was holding on to the assault charge, and he made sure that it sounded like I spit on him. And so from there, you know, court was over. My probation was discharged. I was on 3 years probation. From there, life went on. I forgot about, you know, the whole thing until 2 years later. After that had happened, the same guy had noticed what vehicle I was driving. He recognized me, I recognized him, and since he knew what I was driving, he always pulled me into the checkpoint secondary, always searched my vehicle, and always let me go. Almost an everyday thing. I was working at American Red Cross at that time, so I had to commute back and forth at a certain time, which was always the time that he was out there. So it got so bad. I only had the vehicle 6-7 months. It was a new vehicle. He noticed what I was driving, so I switched vehicle. I sold that vehicle for another vehicle. And you know, everything was cool. You know, I was polite to them. I'm a U.S. citizen. And then he noticed that I was in a different vehicle. He noticed every time I went through. So it started irritating me where I got so used to just go ahead and pull into secondary. I might as well have pulled up and drove into secondary. It was that bad. So I painted my vehicle, and since I painted it, they haven't noticed what I've been driving. And the issue with Border Patrol is outrageous out here. I know there's a lot of, you know, things that are going on, but, you know, not everybody's the same. So that's what happened.
What was the name of the Border Patrol agent?
His name is Christopher LeBlanc, and he's one of the canine unit guys that always has a dog. Always.
Does he say anything to you when they pull you over now?
No, he just gives them the signal to pull me over, and I'm guessing he's in charge. He's like the supervisor there. So he gives them the signal to pull me over, and they run the dog around and stuff like that. And there was this one day where he had came, and he brought his dog to search the vehicle, and I had to step off to the side. They have us step off to the side so their dog won't attack us. And then the Border Patrol, the other ones, they said, go ahead and get back in your vehicle. As I was walking back to my vehicle, the guy, Christopher LeBlanc, he hadn't gotten far away enough, and he goes, "Hold on, Cassandra, wait." So this guy just knows my name, and I really appreciate that. He could have said, "Ma'am." You don't have to call me out by my name. So so you just kind of know who each other's are.
Do you feel like he, intentionally, is kind of harassing you in a way? I guess trying to intimidate you?
Yeah, I think he's just picking on me. Because he did know what I was in for a while, and then we recognized each other. And when he recognized the vehicle that I was driving, that's when he just started up, and he pulled me over into secondary for nothing. Sometimes I didn't even have to say anything. They just said, "Ma'am, can you pull into secondary?" I get to the stop sign. They don't say nothing. They don't run their dog. They don't ask if I'm a U.S. citizen. They don't ask where I'm coming from, which is the typical questions that they do ask. They didn't say anything. They said, "Ma'am, can you pull into secondary?" That's why I said I might as well have pull up and just go straight into secondary. It's gotten, that irritating.
So with the assault charge, how has that affected your life?
So I did get an assault charge against Border Patrol, a federal agent. I have an assault charge, and I'm in the medical field, so it requires thorough background check. You gotta with the government, the fingerprints, everything. And with the assault charge, it comes up. That's the only thing that comes up, and it comes up, and I always get denied. It never clears because of that charge.
But you're still wanting to continue to fight it.
And yes, I'm not gonna let this charge stop me from what the medical field and the interest in that comes natural to me, so I want to be full force in it, with it. And I know there's loopholes and there's ways to get around these kind of charges. It's only a misdemeanor, but just, when it could be a lot easier for me just to do what I want to do without having this Border Patrol background follow me everywhere I go when I'm trying to move on with myself. That's just the annoying part about the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your story with everyone. Is there anything you want to say to the people or anyone who's gone through anything with Border Patrol and who's maybe hesitant to share?
I would encourage you to speak up, even if it's even if you think it's not going to get anywhere. Speak up, because the more people that speak up, the more eyes that open, and the more chance of it getting out there, where people that are above us start seeing that it's becoming a major problem, and it shouldn't be like this. They are Homeland Security, which means they're supposed to secure the border. They're not supposed to harass us because the Tohono O'odham people are labeled as something that is not true. And that's it.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.